All right, now that you've made your quiz and you've shared it with students, you probably have some answers and you probably have some responses and you want to see how they did. So you've got your quiz. Now, if you go over to your other tab, it's responses. Now, if you're later in time and you're not sure where to find your quiz again, it lives in Drive. So when I made my quiz, it shows up here in Drive. If I remember what it's called, I can search for it in Drive. I can say weather quiz, and it comes up. If you're not sure, you can always go to file types here and go to forms, and it'll show you all the types of forms that you've made if you can't remember what you called it. So as you can see by my list, I make a few forms. So you can always find your stuff again. So if I go over to responses, I can start to get statistics of who picked what. Oh, the kids have done really parts dissipate quicker in a low pressure system. Oh, that's lovely. That's a good answer. So you can see kind of some statistics of their stats. If you want to go in and break it down, if you click on this little box here, that is the symbol for sheets, and it takes you to the spreadsheet. First time you have to create it, and it's going to create a weather quiz responses. So if I go back to recent here, you can see it just made it weather quiz responses, and it's type of sheet, which is good. So here are my answers. I had the lovely IT department help me make them. Now I filled it in, and the reason I did that was so I have an answer key, which is important, so I can see how everybody did. Now, if I actually want to grade this quiz, there's an add-on called Flubaroo. Now, if you've never used add-ons before, they're really cool. They're little programs that you can add on to docs and slides, onto spreadsheets to make them do different things. This one's called Flubaroo. This little happy apple, if it's not showing up right on the front page, I'm going to type in the word Flubaroo. You're going to hit add. I already have it, so it says manage. Once you add, it'll ask for some permissions. Do say yes. And then it shows up on your add-ons menu. You can see I actually have 4. So I have Flubaroo, and I'm going to enable Flubaroo in the sheet is the first step. It's been enabled. Awesome. Now I go back to that same menu, and I'm going to say grade assignment. So this is pretty cool because I can decide, identify student, this username. I can decide that this long answer one, I don't actually want it to auto grade because I am going to grade by hand. So if I go grade by hand, I can actually enter the grade in, and I'm actually going to make that one out of 5, which is pretty new. So I'd actually probably make it out of 3 in a real world because I'd only be looking for about 3 features. So I'm going to hit continue here. And so this is where I have to pick my answer key. So I'm the answer key, I'm the teacher. Hit continue. So I'm grading my assignment here, and it takes a second, but you can see it's created this own little sheet down here. Grading complete, awesome. So student submissions, grades, there we go. So this is where I can grade by hand. So far they have 3, but remember that other question's out of 3, so I can say features of a low pressure system. So like Tracy, Scott, and Jay. So Tracy, warm weather, low pressure sometimes, clouds and precipitation. Scott's got that one. Part dissipate quicker. Well, so I'm going to give Tracy 1.5 out of 3. I'm going to give Scott 3 out of 3, and I'm going to give David 0 out of 3 because that's just a really silly answer now, isn't it? And you can see it adjusted their grade over here. So if I say, no, Tracy's is more of a 2 out of 3, you can see it automatically adjusted over there. So you can choose to grade some by hand, and it auto grades the other one compared to my answers. So that's pretty cool. Now, how do I get them their grades? This is why it's important we collected their usernames. So if I go Flubaroo and I go share grades, now this is pretty neat. I'm going to email it to the username, and I can actually share it to them on Drive, or I can share it through their email, or both. I can include an answer key if I want to. Questions and scores, really neat. It helps break it down. Hit continue. It thinks about it for a minute. It's a good video when nothing happens. There we go. We hit OK. And you can see the grade is emailed to them. Now I have a record of their scores, and their grade has been emailed to them. So that's a really nice way. You can also start to see if a question's going wrong here. If you have a whole bunch of people get it wrong, so it's showing me how many people got that question right. It's giving me averages. It's not the right tool for every assessment, but it's a good tool to use for assessment. And it's a nice one because you can also go back and regrade assignments if you get them to do it a second time. They can compare their first score to their second score. But it's a really nice tool for giving quizzes and assessments and grading them.